Skunks don't know that skunks stink. Have you ever had a skunk walk by your house, walk through the yard, run over one? They don't think it stinks. To them, it's what? Natural. It's normal. That's what skunks do. The people that are negative a lot of time are like skunks. They don't know they're being negative. They don't understand. What do you mean I'm like a skunk? You stink. Yeah. And how do you know? Because you can't wait to get away from them. My name is Joe Harteis, and this is my advice. I've had actually 4 completely different lives, growing up on a large dairy farm in Ebensburg with 13 brothers and sisters. And I survived all of that till the age of 21. I knew I didn't want to work 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week, so I figured I'm going to college. So I went to Penn State, majored in food science and chemistry, got a master's degree in food science, and I was a state food inspector for 14 years in Cambria County. Then I got involved with my brothers on the leadership program in the mid-70s to this date, working mostly with corporate leadership and corporate training, along with other digital platforms. I helped run the Blair County Convention Center for the past 10 years before retirement, working with my friend Barry Kumpf, who's our CEO and president. I was in charge of marketing and operations at the convention center, where I got to meet a lot of great people, realtors, doctors, every walk of life. We had hundreds of thousands of people through the building every year. And my job was marketing and sales and operations. And then I retired from that, ran for township supervisor, and just got elected supervisor for Allegheny Township, and was sworn in a month ago, 6 weeks ago. So that's where I currently am today. But over the years, what has empowered me, and I've got 10 points I want to cover on the journey. And first of all, success is not a destination. Success is not a thing, an item, a house, a car. It's the process. It's a journey from where you've been to where you are to where you want to go. I use 3 words: dream, struggle, victory. The first thing is to have a huge dream. A big, hairy, audacious, I call it a BHAG, dream. Something you really will make you stretch. So number 1 key is dream big. Expect great things to happen. Expect that sale to go through. Expect that business to grow. Because expectations are huge. Most people, their greatest disappointment on their deathbed is looking back at what could have been, what should have been, because they never tried, because they were talked out of it by friends and family, well-meaning, but some people want you to succeed and they'll encourage you. Other people are going to sit on the sidelines and cross their arms and say, well, we'll see how you do. And other people are going to, I hate to say it, they're rooting for you to fail. They don't care if you get ahead, just don't get ahead of them, okay? So you want to associate with people that are going to encourage your dream, support your dream. And that's so number 1, dream big, expect great things, and then hang around people that nurture, that encourage. Hang around people that you can help encourage. Be an encourager. Walt Disney years ago said there's 3 kinds of people in the world. There's the well-poiseders. They're the people that are they're the Donnie and Debbie Downers, and they're always negative. Then there's the lawnmowers. They're the people that take care of their yard, their garden. They're nice people, great neighbors, but they're not really engaged in outside of their own world, which is that's cool. It's okay. But then there's the life enrichers. They sing in the choirs. They run for political office. They're engaged. They're the top salesperson, wherever they're engaged beyond just them. They're building the community, building the area, building a legacy for their kids, their grandkids in the community. And those are the people you want to hang around. Item number 2, reading. If there's 2 things that I would say are huge, number 1 is travel, and number 2 is reading. Reading is fundamental, because when you get into the books, the first book was given to me by my dad when I was in 8th grade, and this is his copy, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. This book was written in 1936. 1936. Now, does it still work? You say, well, that's an old geezer book. Let's throw that under the bus. No. Here's why. Success principles are few, and they never change. Never. They're timeless. And the principles in this book, it's a seminal book. Many other books have flowed out of this book right here. But millions of copies sold. Many people have it, not many read it, and fewer yet apply it. In this book, and I remember reading this in 8th grade, Dale Carnegie said, instead of condemn, complain, and criticize, accept, approve, and appreciate. Let me repeat that. Instead of condemning, complaining, and criticizing, which our world is full of today, accept, approve, and appreciate. One of the things I loved about my boss, Barry Kumpf, at the convention center, he said, Joe, if you come to me with a problem, also come to me with 1 or 2 solutions. What can be done about that? Don't just come and dump it on my table. Give me 1, 2, 3 possible solutions to the problem. Anybody can bitch and complain, but you'll never see a statue dedicated to a critic. Name me one statue in Blair County that, here's the #1 critic of Blair County or Altoona. Everybody can bitch and moan and complain about the city and this person. What are you doing? So being involved with many political campaigns over the years, people will come to me and bitch. And they'll complain about, I don't like this. I said, great. Come on board. We need your ideas. We need your passion. And you know that, because I do this all the time. Engage. If you're not part of the solution, you're not part of the problem. You are the problem. Because in our country, it's run by who? We the people. We the people in the Constitution. So, reading. And when I talk about reading, I'll recommend several books. How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success Through Selling. Frank Betcher. Now that book's not about selling. I hate the title, but it's a great book on how you can move on. That book was written in 1948. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Phenomenal book. The Magic of Thinking Big. David Schwartz, written in 1959. These books will change your life. They will, if you read them and apply them. Now, people say knowledge is power. Knowledge is not power. I know a lot of educated derelicts. They have a lot of degrees. They have no common sense. I will take an ounce of common sense any day over a pound of IQ. How many of us have seen people with a business card that has all these titles? Master's degree, doctorate degree. And they're stupid. They're idiots. They have no common sense. So I look for people who have common sense. Common sense. We need to have focus. And that's where those books I mentioned will change. They'll change people's lives. The final books I recommend, biographies of successful people, like Sam Walton, like Ray Kroc, the founder of McDonald's. I got to meet Dave Thomas, Wendy's founder. I mean, they'll change your life. Dave Thomas was an orphan. He didn't even have a high school diploma. He went back and got his GED. And his mentor was Colonel Sanders, who was also a crazy guy. Read the story of Colonel Sanders. When he was 65, he started collecting Social Security. And it came out to $89 a month. He's 65 years old. A geezer. Broke as hell. 60, 70, 80, it was under $100 a month. And he went out on his back porch, sat on a picnic bench, and was writing out his last will and testament. He was planning to commit suicide. He was such a failure. And when he just about got done, one of his grandkids came out and jumped on his lap. And he said, "What am I doing? What am I doing? This is crazy." He tore up the last will and testament. He said, "There's something I'm good at, something. What can I do with the rest of my life?" He said, chicken. I have the best recipe for chicken in the whole state of Kentucky." And he was living in Harlan, Kentucky. And he started burning up the highways with his station wagon and chicken fryer, and he went all around the country selling franchises of what? Colonel Sanders Kentucky Fried Chicken. And because of his success, at the age of 92, he had the second largest franchise in the world, KFC, second only to McDonald's. And then he mentored Dave Thomas in Columbus, Ohio. Dave ran all his shops in Columbus. And he went to the colonel and said, "I want to start my own business. I want to go out on my own." And instead of the colonel saying, "You idiot, you ungrateful, great ingrate," he said, "I'll help you under two conditions. Number one, don't sell my chicken recipe. Don't compete with me. And number two, follow what I recommend. Don't waste my time." So the first 10 franchises that Dave Thomas started with Wendy's, were old, dilapidated KFC locations that they tore down and put up a Wendy's. And when I hosted Dave Thomas 15, 20 years ago, I asked him, I said, "Mr. Thomas, why are your hamburgers square? Everybody else is round with the bun. Why are yours square?" He said, "Joe, it's simple. At Wendy's, we don't cut corners." Funny, I'll remember the look on his face. Here's a guy who was an orphan, started with nothing, went back and got his GED. You know why? He had kids working for him around the country and said, "You don't have a high school diploma. Look how good you've done." He said, "It's a different time, different era. You need to go back." And he set up programs for kids to go back and get their high school diploma. And he went back and got it in Columbus. And guess what? His class voted him most likely to succeed. He was a billionaire. Read the story it's called Dave's Way. Dave talked about biographies. That would be number 2. Reading. And then why am I spending so much time on this? You can, in a couple of hours, you can learn all the principles of a person's life, 60, 70, 80 years of their journey from dream, struggle, victory in one book for $10, $20. The most important investment you'll ever make is in you. Not college, not a car, not equipment. The most important investment. And people don't think they're worth the investment. Crazy. Number 3, listen. Audios, daily. Feed your computer with good stuff. Avoid the negative. I've shut down my TV hugely. In fact, after the election in 2020, I was screaming at the television. My wife came over and she took the remote from me, which she never does that kind of stuff. And she hit it. And she pointed to the door. And she said, "Go! Go!" I said, "Go where?" "Anywhere!" Quit screaming at the TV. If you're not part of the solution, you are the problem. That was the day I decided to run for supervisor, Allegheny Township, and I won by 76%. And she was right. I didn't argue with her, but I mean, we can bitch and complain. Who cares? You ever have people, you ask them how their health is, and they give you an organ recital? Liver, kidneys, pancreas, you want to see my scar? Like, really? TMI, too much information. There's only two people who really care about your health. Your mortician and your physician, for different reasons. So, don't even tell. People ask how you doing, great. Thanks for asking. Next. But audios, shut off the noise. Get off your phone. Rejuvenate. Constantly feed the good stuff. Because our brain's a huge computer, huge. And whatever you program it to do, it will do. If you program it to kill and destroy, condemn, complain, and criticize, it will do that. How many here know a Debbie or a Donnie Downer? You know when they walk into a room, it's going to fly. The crap. You know it's going to get ugly. Then there's other people, as soon as they walk in, they have a smile, they have a kick in their step. Some people, when they come into a room, they brighten it, they lighten it. You're glad to see them. I am so glad you made it. Then there's others, when they show up, the lights dim, the energy drains, the room gets colder, because you know there's going to be an argument, there's going to be a fight, there's going to be a disagreement. There's what's called the law of attraction. And by the way, it's called the strangest secret. Google this on YouTube. It's called the strangest secret. So it's a real short video. The strangest secret. It's so cool. And it talks about the law of attraction. You'll draw to people in your world that are like-minded, that have similar values, that have similar energy. But listening, audios will program your brain for success. And there's so many avenues today. So many, I listen to digital audios every day. Shut off the radio, the TV. I'm not saying never go on, but keep it to a minimum. There's too much negative in this world. Shut it off, shut it down. Go for a walk, get on a bike, get outside. Shut it down. Number 4, associate with winners, like we did last night. I love being around movers and shakers and people making it happen. Look around your community for people that are making it happen. People like Manny, people like Ken, they had a whole table. I went around to, I would say, half the tables last night, thanking them for coming to our dinner, you know? So, in the book, Dale Carnegie says, be lavish with your praise and hearty with your approbation. Thank people. Be thankful for whatever people do. If they bring you a bottle of water, thank them. Be gracious. Be grateful. And eliminate condemning, complaining, criticizing. But associate with winners. Limit time. I wrote this down. Limit time with Donnie and Debbie Downers. Well, what if they're your family? I have 13 brothers and sisters. Do you think they're all happy-go-lucky, positive people? No. I have one brother I had to unfriend on Facebook. I don't answer his phone calls. He's negative. I know when he calls, it's going to be what? And I love him like a brother because he's my brother. But I didn't choose him, and he didn't choose me. I have 5 other brothers and 7 sisters. So minimize your time with negative people. They're toxic. Chapter 4, Magic of Thinking Big. Magic of Thinking Big. Being around negative people is like poison. It's like hemlock. They'll get you. You say, well, I can handle them. No, you can't. They'll get to you. A skunk. Who here has ever run over a skunk? You ever run over a skunk? You say, well, it ain't going to affect me. Your car will stink for days. If it gets up, you know, I've had it happen. If you haven't, you don't want it to. So hang around winners. The other thing is look for opportunities to network with different organizations that you have an affinity to. I don't just go to stuff for the sake of doing stuff, but I've been heavily involved with the Chamber of Commerce. I've been heavily involved with political groups and other groups, my church, family groups. Find areas of interest to you and then get involved to whatever leader. We need more leaders in this area. Next, but association. Join and be active. Don't just join stuff to join. I mean, I see people that join things like clubs and they never participate, they never go. Why? Don't waste their time or yours. Move on. Number 5, travel. My wife and our kids, we've been all over the world. Australia 5 times, England 10 times, Poland, Canada, all over. We've been to 17 countries. I was trying to think on the way over what states we've not been to. I could probably put it in one hand, the states I haven't been to. Travel. The best education you'll ever get is travel. Get out of town, get out of Dodge. I mean, I know a lot of people think Altoona and Blair County are the center of the universe. We're not the center of the universe. We're not. We're a little bubble. Do I love Altoona? Yes. Do I love Blair County? Yes. Is it the center of the world? No. My daughter and son-in-law lived in Hoboken, New Jersey for 13 years. And we go visit them. They take us to Midtown Manhattan, the city. And Marissa, our oldest daughter, she gave us the VIP tour of New York City. I'm telling you, there's a difference between downtown Altoona and Manhattan. I'm telling you. Trump Tower, the whole thing. So, travel. When you get the chance, every other year, as my boys were growing up, we would take a Go West trip, a guy trip. Mount Rushmore, Crazy Horse, Grand Tetons, Yellowstone, Utah, Zion, Yellowstone. I mean, we would take a Western trip, either drive or fly, and go for a week to 10 days. Get away. Get off the grid. Shut off your phone. Go hiking. They love to hike. Then I'd take my son-in-laws. And we went out, we spent 10 days in Utah. Zion, Bryce, Grand Canyon, Canyonlands, Arches, hiking every day. We'd go hiking. We had a ball creating memories. But getting away from what? No phones. When we go out to eat for dinner at night, we put our phones on the table, our cell phones, and whoever grabbed their phone the first while we were eating had to pay for the whole meal. The whole meal. So when the phones were there, and if an emergency came in, you could look. But if you answered it, you had to buy dinner. Why? We were there to do what? Recharge the battery. Number 6, be spontaneous. Develop a bucket list of places you want to go and see and things you want to do. Let me repeat that. A bucket list of place you want to go, things you want to do, things you want to see. My bucket list, I'm checking them off like crazy. But as I check them off, I'm adding new ones. So I'm kind of cheating. So what's next? Every decade in your life is a new chapter. But travel, I mean, we've been to go to Key West. You got to go to Key West. It's a crazy place. I mean, we've been there twice. It's just funny. Caribbean, 7 cruises. If you haven't been on a cruise, go on a cruise. You get hooked. The last cruise we were on 4 years ago, our whole team organized it to Alaska, an Alaskan cruise. And my wife, who's a very warm weather person, Sandy, as soon as I told her we're going on a cruise to Alaska, she said, "Oh my God, Alaska, polar bears, ice caps, icebergs." She was not a happy camper. And I started showing her pictures of the whales and all the different sites we were going to see, the helicopter rides, Skagway, Juneau, fish. Well, she said, "Okay, I'll go. I'll be okay." Talk to her today, Lisa, and I'll tell you what. She'll tell you her favorite cruise was Alaska. the mountains, the scenery, the fjords blew her away. So in the beginning, she was what? I'm the adventurous one. I'm the one to say, let's go. Well, I'm not sure. Come on. In every relationship, there's one that wants to go, and there's typically one that's a little more cautious. But ask her, she'll tell you. Alaska blew us all away. We had whales, humpback whales, right off our ship. 5 or 6 of them. Like while we're eating dinner, they put on a show. Crazy. But be spontaneous. If you see something like, I can go to this, or maybe I could go on that trip, or maybe it's just a one-day thing. Do it. If your gut tells you, this is something I probably should go to or participate in, just do it. I've never regretted those things. More positive than negative. Okay, number 7. Establish focused priorities. Focused priorities. There's 2 ways to fail in this world. Listen to everybody or listen to nobody. You have to focus on the 2 or 3 or 4 things that are the most critical to you. Your happiness, your success in your career. I can't tell how many people get so involved in minutia, in things that just clutter up their lives. And then they end up with drama. Drama. I hate drama. I despise drama. Drama will happen to you with your vehicle, with your kids, drama happens, but we can keep it to a manageable level. But I can tell you horror stories, I'm sure you all can too, horror stories of people that have brought drama. Date, have 3 or 4 kids, don't finish high school, never get married, end up 24 years old with 3 kids and no husband and no training, no skill, no education. What's the future for that man or woman and their kids? They're in a world of hurt. So focus on priorities and the things that matter. And then strive to become the best in what you do. The best, not I'm doing okay. Study the people that have succeeded in your profession. But sometimes, here's a real important quote. Sometimes it's more important to say no than to say yes. Say no to the good so you can say yes to the best. Say yes to the best. And the things you need to say yes to are personal and professional development. Always look to become better. Anytime somebody tells me they've arrived, they're coasting. You only coast in one direction, downhill. I can walk into a company and I can tell you 1 or 2 things. That company is really happening. They got it going. They're in a groove, or they don't. And there's no in between. If they're not getting better, they're getting worse. I mean, I've been into companies where they were out of business and they didn't even know it. They were out of business. They were out of business. They didn't even know it. They were oblivious. So, establish my priorities. Organize your list. Mine, personally. My faith, my family, my freedom, country, government, freedoms. Second Amendment, fitness, your health. If you don't have your health, you have nothing. Finances, fun, and friends. It's my top 7. Faith, family, freedom, fitness, finances, fun, and friends. Yes, you have to schedule in fun. Schedule it. Number 8. Once you've established your priorities, 4 words. Plan, do, check, and adjust. Plan. Do today. Check. And then adjust. That's a cycle of success. In any business, Here's what we planned. Here's what we did. Let's review. Let's check our progress, good, bad, or ugly, and then make adjustments. Plan, do, check, adjust, and then start back over again. Every 30 days, every 60 days. Plan, do, check, and adjust. If you don't have a plan to succeed in your life, in your business, in your career, the default setting is failure. The default setting in anything in life is failure. It's very challenging to succeed. It's not easy. You gotta work your butt off. And people say, well, look how lucky you were, Blake. Lisa, you lucky dog. You fall into it. They don't know all the calls that never got called back. The people that never showed the account where the bank didn't go through with the financing. Lucky, luck is the word that non-performers use to describe the people they don't like or understand. It ain't luck. Here's what luck is. Write this down. Here's a good one. Labor under correct knowledge. Luck is labor under correct knowledge. You know, luck. The harder and smarter you work, the luckier you get. You earn everything you get. Plan, do, check, and adjust. Regularly. Number 9. Oh, already covered this. Say no to the good so you can say yes to the best. I put that in as a number 9 because sometimes it's more important to take something off of your plate than to add something onto your plate. And people say, oh, Lisa, I need you, I need you, I need you. Well, maybe somebody else can do it, Lisa. Maybe somebody else can. My wife drives her nuts because I'm a super delegator. When my kids would come to me, like my dad, I'd go to him when I was 10, 12 years old on the farm, and I'd get the tractor stuck or get a hay wagon stuck. I'm 14 years old. He'd say, well, you got it stuck, right? I said, yeah. He said, well, what are we going to do about it? I said, well, we need to get it unstuck. He said, well, how do you think we ought to do that? I'm sitting there thinking, I'm 14. He's a geezer. He ought to know. How did he get to be that old and that dumb? I didn't say that because I got, yeah. But what was my dad having me do? Think, you got it stuck. How can we get it pulled out? Go get your brother Fred. Go get the other tractor. Get the chain. He'll pull you out of the ditch. My dad would never say, we'll do this. What do you think we ought to do? So sometimes when people bring to you something good to do, that doesn't necessarily mean you should be the one doing it. Maybe it shouldn't be done at all. I have people come to me want to run for office, political office. I interrogate them like I did Manny, school board. Now, I call it an interview, but why do they want to run? What's their motive? What's their passion? What's their purpose? So sometimes you have to say no so you can say yes to what? What you're really all about. 2 or 3 things. You can't do everything, but you can do something. So there's two ends of the pendulum. Do everything, do everything, do everything, get burned out, or do nothing, sit on your butt. Those are the people that drive me nuts. The well poisoners. It's the ones that sit back on their butts. Anytime somebody comes to me with a complaint about our political system, I say, thank you. Now you're going to be, come on board. We need you. You got great ideas. We need you on the team. Come on. What can you do? Can you bake cookies? Can you make phone calls? Can you attend an event? Can you take some audio or video? What can you do? What can you do? Maybe you're not going to run the party, but you can do something. Be part of the solution. Number 10, enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey. Yes, enjoy the setbacks. Yeah, my vehicle didn't start, but you got here. How? You figured it out. How'd you figure it out? Well, I checked this one, I looked at it and compared them. It's crazy, right? Be a problem solver. Be a problem solver. Look at every adversity as an opportunity to learn. Out of every, this is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Out of every adversity come the seeds of equal or greater benefit. Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. Great book, written in the 30s. Out of every adversity come the seeds of equal or greater benefit. Dave Thomas. Sam Walton. Read the book about Sam Walton, Walmart. He had a horrible start. Horrible. Dave Thomas. Colonel Sanders. I could go on. Jeff Bezos. Amazon. He didn't make a dime for like 15, 20 years. Nothing. People laughed at him. They made fun of him. How's he doing today? You say, what a lucky dog. Lucky? Kidding me? How many started with nothing? But enjoy the journey, and when adversity comes, and it will, embrace it. Don't run from it. The 3 words: dream, dream big, struggle, embrace it, learn from it. Say, that wasn't good. If you're going to the gym and work out, no pain, no gain. You're going to have a soreness. You're going to be, if you do an exercise routine you haven't done for a while, you're going to be sore. What is that? That's weakness leaving the body. Dream, struggle, and then victory. If you watch any of the Olympics, it doesn't always work out. I can't believe I got caught up watching curling. You know you're bored at night, late at night, if you ever watch curling on the Olympics. I mean, to me, that's like, but I actually got hooked on watching how they do it. And like they're playing chess, and the U.S. was in the hunt, U.S. against Canada and then Great Britain. I thought, it's kind of cool. I like the engagement. I don't have a clue how they do that, curling. But again, you never know. It's a new experience. Try new foods. Anytime we were on a cruise or we traveled like to Australia or we go to England, it's kind of weird. They don't use ketchup on their French fries in England. They think that's horrible to use ketchup. You know what they use? Mayonnaise. They dip their French fries in mayonnaise in Australia and in England. So try something new, something different. We've been to Scotland. They have haggis in Scotland. Don't eat it. Don't touch it. It's not fit for man nor beast. They take the stomach of a sheep and they fill it full of all the stuff you throw away. I used to be a food inspector. And they roast this stuff, roast it, and then they cut up and you eat it. You ever see Braveheart? That's probably why they're so nasty, because they eat that stuff. That's the only thing I ever tried. Never again. It's crazy. My name is Joe Harteis, and I hope you benefit from some of the ideas I've shared.